I'm on Net Lease TV.
In this episode of Net Lease TV, we interview Christopher Malling of Avison Young at Net Lease West, which took place at the Omni Hotel in Los Angeles on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Enjoy. Christopher, what are you seeing with the velocity of net lease transactions? I know, what do you see between 2020, 2021, and 2022? What do you see happening?
Well, it's been the number one investment class in the private client sector as well as in the public sector.
Okay.
So where we see it on the private side is investors who have sold multifamily, office, and multi-tenant retail gravitating towards to net lease as a final stage in their investment cycle. And they are looking towards QSRs, standalone drugstores, CVS, Walgreens, AutoZones.
All right.
And so where we were in 2020 was sort of like, I'm dipping my toe into it. I'm a little concerned about some of the issues that came out of the pandemic with, basically work from home, basically properties shut down because of lack of patrons. Then you have asset classes that survived and actually accelerated, such as quick serve retail. We saw a huge influx of net lease retail investment in 2021. We forecast 2022 being the same and continuing along those lines.
Hi, this is Chris Marabella with Marabella Commercial Finance. I'm here above beautiful Beverly Hills. If you're currently leasing your mansion property and you're thrown into a 1031 exchange, you should be exploring triple net properties such as Walgreens, CVS, Jack in the Box, 7-Eleven, Dollar General, which are normally called net lease 1031 exchange properties. With a net lease property, the tenant takes care of the insurance, maintenance, taxes, and everything. So you can identify a property pretty much anywhere in the United States as long as it's a true triple net property. If you So Christopher, what do you see happening in Southern California? I know that the supply of homes has been lacking as of late. Are you seeing that in the net lease space with developers developing single and multi-tenant net lease, or is there an ample supply of properties?
No, absolutely continuing going. What they're looking at now is taking infill existing sites and reformatting and creating new net lease, okay? Whether taking a sit-down concept that had no drive-through that failed because of the pandemic and making that into a bank branch, a drugstore, a DaVita, or a Chick-fil-A QSR.
So let me ask you something, Christopher. Are you saying that where there's an existing fast food with a drive-through, those have become really in vogue?
Absolutely.
Where the Chipotles of the world, the Panda Expresses are looking for those locations?
Absolutely. Hands down. And if anything, because of the change in format of the footprint of this QSRs, they're able to penetrate submarkets that they had barriers to entry. In other words, instead of an acre to an acre and a half, they can actually get in less than half an acre because they're going with a drive-through only concept. And if you have a dual drive-through, or in some cases we're seeing triple drive-throughs, that's what's working in this environment for quick serve retail.
What are you seeing with cap rates with these kind of transactions?
Well, in California, we still see very compressed cap rates due to quite a few variables. One, demand. Demand is increased over the supply.
Okay.
So you have that metric. So the other metric is we're still in a very relatively low debt environment. So when you have that coupled with a very, very strong demand and tight supply, you're going to see compressed cap rates. Now, whether you buy a Chipotle in Dallas or a Chipotle in Santa Monica, it's the same tenant, it's the same lease. It's just that it's a different location. Anything close to the water is going to command higher residual values, and therefore we see compressed cap rates of anywhere between 100 to 150 basis points.
What do you think, Christopher, this whole thing with Ukraine, the higher oil prices, is that going to have effect on the net lease market and these higher interest rates?
In the short term, no. In the long term, if we have a sustained issue here with a potential conflict, yes, absolutely.
Is there any tenants that would benefit from it?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
I mean,
Lockheed Martin, maybe, right?
Correct.
The defense
contractors.
Contractors in industrial buildings, possibly.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share?
I think the one sector in net lease that can't be overlooked and is very, very hot right now is industrial. And we're talking basically the Amazons of the world, anything that is last mile and quite frankly distribution for supply chain is what is driving that sector and is really going to dominate the net lease market.
Are you looking for developers that want to sell net lease? Is that an area right now that you're looking to talk to developers, or are you representing more buyers?
We represent on the sell side, on the list side, merchant developers and clients that are looking at upgrading their portfolio on the private client side. On the institutional side, we're always working with both public and private REITs that are looking to cull their portfolio, sell some assets that may not fit what their business model is, and recycle that equity into other longer-term net leased assets.
How would somebody call you, Chris, to list a property or inquire about the net lease market? How should somebody
they can reach out to me at Avison Young 213-364-7222. Again, our platform is across the country, even though we're based here in Los Angeles.
What are some of the credit tenants you're selling right now? Like, do you have any listings that you could talk about?
So AutoZone is what I'm currently marketing right now, net leased out in Europa Valley, California. We just sold a Dutch Brothers in San Antonio. And that's also just on the heels of closing Starbucks in Ontario, a Chipotle in Chandler, Arizona, and then a Circle K in Cave Creek, Arizona.
Beautiful. That sounds great. That's exciting. Thanks again for having us here at Net Lease West. Christopher Malling, I'm looking forward to hearing you in the panel, and thank you so much.
I'm on Net Lease TV.